to be real, most people I see doing kettlebell swings rather turn it into a squat, or they turn it into some sort of arm exercise, or they're just chucking it around with no control. And not to hate on these people, but if you actually learn how to do a kettlebell swing properly, it is one of the best movements for building power, conditioning, and a strong posterior chain. This is episode 2 of the Kettlebell Mastery series. We're covering the kettlebell swing. If you haven't watched episode 1, which is foundations, go watch that first, and then come back to this. Let's get into it. Right, now let's get into the steps of the kettlebell swings. The do's, the don'ts, how to do it properly, and what to avoid. Right, let's get into it. First off, set your feet up properly. Went over this in episode 1, foundations, 1 foot behind the kettlebell, 1 foot behind the other foot, shoulder width apart. Cool. Before we get into it, actually, I want to go over what this is. This is a hinge movement. What does that mean? Hinge backwards. Hinge backwards at the hip. You see here? This is a hinge. Yeah? This is a squat, where you push your knees forward. That's a squat. This is a hinge. And when we actually come into doing the kettlebell swing, we're going to be in the hinge, and it all wants to be the power from the hips. Yeah? We want to load up our hamstrings, load up our glutes, and it's boom. You want to do is come into a standing plank. What a lot of people do is they push through, overextend, and they end up doing their lower back in. Back to the point, this is a hinge movement pattern. What does that mean? We hinge at the hips, we don't squat, but you can have soft knees. You can have a slight bend in your knees. So from here, slight hinge backwards, slight bend in the knees, and this is the starting position. From here, grab the kettlebell, get it on a slight tilt so it's ready to go. And from here, you hike it backwards and then you swing it up. So, boom, boom. And I'm just going to show you this again. Because what a lot of people do, I see, they'll just pick up the kettlebell and try to go from here. Right? They're using all arms, they're trying to go from here. What you want to do is you always want to start with it on the floor. And you always want to hike it between your legs as if you was going to let go, it would just go flying behind you. So let me show you again. Put a bit of power into it. Really chuck it. So if you're going to let it go, it's just going to go flying behind you. And from there, that's where you do your first swing. You hike it up. So here, chin down, straight back, hinged at the hips, slight bend in the knees, and boom. And from here, a couple key points I want to go over of what to do and what to look out for when I'm doing it, and to replicate in your own swings, and what to avoid are these, right? First thing, your arms should only be guiding the kettlebell. You shouldn't be doing any of the work. I'm just going to show you an example. I see a lot of people, most people do this. They're lifting it right up like this, using their arms. All your arms want to be doing is guiding the kettlebell. They want to be relaxed, loose. Don't want to be doing any of the work. It all comes from the power from the hips. So I'm going to show you this one again. Using all their arms, this is how you're meant to do it. All from the hips. The power. Ready? Boom. Hinge backwards. Boom. And look how I follow the momentum of the kettlebell. As it drops, just as it's about to drop, timing. Boom. Boom. One of the key points is following the momentum of the kettlebell and having right timing. So as you come with the kettlebell, here, you don't start hinging now. As the kettlebell gets to here, with the timing, then you hinge with it, follow the momentum, and then you power through the hips. Another tip, what I see a lot of people doing, is they come too low. They do their swings like coming down here by their knees. It wants to be just below the ball area, or if you're a woman, the private parts, right? Now it's just below my groin. What I see a lot of people doing is come down too low like that. It's not what you can want to do. Boom, follow the momentum of the kettlebell, and then hinge and power through. Boom. And then another thing is not hinging, so they're squatting with it, like this. They're squatting. Remember, there's a hinge pattern. Boom. All the power comes from the hinge. This wants to be snappy, sharp, and explosive. So it all comes through the hips. Boom. To a standing plank. Not pushing through, overextending, doing your back in to the standing plank. So there is everything you need to know about the kettlebell swing. Master this before you go on to any more advanced kettlebell movements. Follow me in the next episode where I'm going to be going through cleans and presses. See you there.